Gout Gout.
Luttsy.
How are you, mate?
I'm great, yourself?
You're good. I'm good, mate. Congratulations, first and foremost, on two things. Graduating from Ippy Grammar
Yes, thank you.
in 2025, and just congratulations on a broader note about the year 2025.
It's been a great year for sure. So
Yeah, I mean, you probably have expectations of yourself that are, as an outsider, I look at your 2025 and think a pretty phenomenal increase in your trajectory again.
Yeah.
Where does it sit for you, 2025? Is it the trajectory you anticipated? Did you end the year feeling pretty good about all aspects of your life?
Yeah, 100%. I think, especially with all that's going on this year, especially going overseas and school and stuff like that, I definitely think I'm definitely proud of myself for getting, to World Championships, getting to the semi-finals and stuff like that. So definitely proud of what I've done. Obviously, I'm a bit hard on myself, so definitely could have, in my head, did better, but definitely think this year's been great and happy for more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty important time for you, obviously, in your phases of your life, and I think it's a good time to sort of do an interview, almost to a window to what lies ahead, but also perhaps a time capsule where we can look back at this time when you turn 18 this, as we sit here now, the 15th of December 2025. You turn 18 in 14 days from now.
Right,
you're finishing school, so it also might become a time capsule where you can look back in 5 years and go, either look at yourself and go, oh my God, what was I thinking? Or maybe you got some of it right, I don't know. So you know what I mean? So I reckon it's a pretty cool time to just lay a foundation for what's happening in your life.
100%, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so we'll have a chat about, obviously, athletics and the year and what's coming ahead, but also try and delve into a few different areas because it's been great for me the last 12 months to sort of, get to know you on different levels as well and sort of understand the great young man that you're becoming, which is awesome, and also the great support network you have around with your coach, Dice Shepard, and your manager, James Templeton, the guys. It's been really a privilege to get that insight into what has been a great year for you, including obviously Tokyo World Champs, which we'll talk about. But it seems like the year ends, 2025 ends with that network you have around you, that you're in a pretty sort of comfortable position with where you're at.
100%. Definitely think I've built a very stable circle, and especially as an athlete, you gotta have that circle around you to get to the next level for sure. And I think I've done that pretty well this year, and happy to move forward.
I want to ask you a little bit later on as well around the expectations you have on yourself moving forward, because we were just talking off air. Went to this the AC/DC concert last night at Suncorp Stadium, one of the venues for the Brisbane 2032 Olympics, and I just said to people, I'm doing an interview with Gout Gout, and it always amazes me that everyone in the suite, because that's how I roll in the suite, obviously. Of course. Everyone from guys and girls older than me to there's a 10-year-old kid that goes to Matthew Flinders' school on the Sunshine Coast, and there was about 3 other kids there. Every single person in the suite said, ask him this. Like, everyone had a question for you, which I think is a pretty rare thing for someone of your age to have evoked that passion in a sport like athletics for people that aren't necessarily track and field people, right? And that's the sort of energy that I think you've brought to the sport. I'm as you know, I'm a massive track and field fan, but even I know that traditionally it's probably, if it has appealed to that many people, that what you've been able to achieve so far in your career is just to broaden that appeal, so more people feel like they have heart or involvement in the sport, which I presume is something that gives you a great deal of satisfaction.
100%, especially seeing people like look up to me, and just the fan base is amazing. And I think definitely this fan base will take sprinting and athletics in general in Australia pretty far.
I want to talk about your coach in a second as well, but before we do that, just the changes that have, there's been a lot of changes for you this year, your physicality, obviously. You're still, we were joking a couple of months ago about you're still not sure if your feet have bottomed out yet. Like, you're still changing sizes of your clothes and things like that. So the physicality changes, obviously. Also, a big thing I've noticed is the way you communicate and how you're more natural around different environments and how you communicate with, for one of a key stakeholders, if you like. So for you, that's become sponsors all of a sudden, school kids, which you've been fantastic with, media, things like that. so on every level, and of course your times are improving as well.
Of course.
So how has that, the change in all those different elements been for you over the last 12 months?
Yeah, it's definitely been different to experience for sure, especially being a 16, 17-year-old kid, you know. You get kind of pushed into this world and you don't really know what to do or what to expect.
Yeah,
but
how could you, right? Like,
yeah, exactly,
yeah.
Like, it's not something a lot of people experience.
It's not a normal thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I definitely, with my great team around me, I definitely handled it pretty well, and they just gave me advice and all those kind of things I needed to keep moving forward. And obviously, I got to the World Championships, dropped my times, and everything else got better. Like, the more interviews I do, the more comfortable I'm becoming, and the better of a speaker I'm getting for sure. So this year's definitely been great, as I've definitely changed from the start of the year to where I am now, and definitely think that every year it'll probably get better for sure.
Yeah. I reckon when I first met you, and just watching you do the media stuff, and I know you're like a huge football fan, and like I know you're Lionel Messi. You want to talk about a bit later as well, but I mean, the only way, like, all of a sudden, like it almost happened like that you had like 4 television cameras on you, right? So the only way you can really know what to do is to base yourself off what you've seen these guys do. They did their interviews, and you were kind of doing that, and it was a really cool way. And, honestly, you did it so well so early. But having said that, you can see over the last 12 months that you're starting to think about the questions and actually acknowledge where you want to take things a bit better with the narrative, which is something you need to learn as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Let's talk about right now, finishing school, 18, as we said, on the 29th of December. What does fun look like for you at the moment?
Definitely just hanging out with my friends. We definitely, we like chilling a lot. We like watching movies. We play pool a lot. So, like, we go to this local pool place we go to. We're there for hours.
Really?
Yeah, just having fun.
Any good?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good. My friend group would say I'm not the top. I'm not up there. But, like, I can hold myself against, you know, the good guys for sure. But
these Ippy grammar boys?
Yeah, Ippy grammar boys, my boys,
Yeah, I mean, I know you were very proud of what you did with your schooling and the role you played with Ippy, which is obviously a great school for people that are watching this in other areas of the world or the country. It's a great school, and you were a prefect, but I know you came back from World Champs and competed in the 400 metres at GPS, which meant a lot for the sport locally as well. And I think there's also important to know that Ippy grammar connection, as you said, now you've finished, that mateships you've had there were going to be important for you, and that connection you'll have to the school will continue through your whole life.
Exactly.
As you know, I went to a slightly better school called Nudgee.
Of course, right.
And it still impacts my life every day, you know, every week. So that's, I think you're aware of that, though. You've got those strong roots there that have actually helped you make the person you are today.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think getting, like, God given me coming to Ippy Grammar was definitely God gift for sure, and that's where I met my coach, James, and my whole team. And I definitely think it builds a great foundation for you as a young male to go out in the real world and succeed in whatever business or whatever sport you want to do for sure.
Yeah, so, and I hear you're also upgrading the house, which is nice.
Yes.
You're moving into a new place. I mean, I've never had a walk-in wardrobe in my life, and I'm older than you.
Yeah, that's right.
And I hear rumours that you now have a walk-in wardrobe. This new, is it Plantation?
Yes, Plantation Homes for sure. Yeah, they're definitely. It's been a great experience with them. And
so the family's moving with you?
Yeah, the family's moving in. We got a fully built house, and it's been great, and moving in pretty soon. So.
And it's still close to where you live
very
in
close
Ippy?
to where I live. So yeah, it's just amazing. So.
Yeah, right. And speaking of Ippy Grammar, you just mentioned Di Shepherd, your coach, who I've also got to know well over the last 12 months as well. I was looking at some of her ideologies in coaching and some quotes here. I just want to say a couple of them, then maybe you can sort of just bounce off that about how it's impacted you. One of her real ideologies, she says, "My job is to create an environment where athletes who are serious about growth can thrive."
Yeah.
So there's almost a unwritten law that if you're gonna join this group, the commitment has to come from within, right?
100%, and that definitely creates that environment for sure. As like, if you're not committed to train hard, what's the point of being there, you know? And she definitely irradiates that into everyone, and that's definitely why like a lot of our athletes, like Johnny K, myself, and a bunch of other athletes strive to be great because we're there as a commitment. We're there because we want to be there and when we get better. And she definitely creates that environment for us to succeed in that for sure.
Yeah, and it's not just, you get the feeling it's not just the athletics.
Yeah.
She's obviously got young men and
Yeah,
women that she's
exactly.
coaching.
Yeah.
So and she says that what she's doing is rooted in respect and self-motivation,
Yeah.
where accountability is expected from day one.
Yeah.
And I know these are just words on paper,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
actually see that when you
Yeah.
see you guys going through the process that you're going
100%,
through.
Yeah. And she definitely holds us to accountability and respect and all that kind of stuff you definitely need in the real world, not just in sports. And she definitely makes us feel like we can actually go out in the real world, no matter what sport it is, and still have that level of respect, accountability, and strive to whatever greatness we want to achieve.
And I always talk about, as far as people getting, particularly with Brisbane 2032, about people becoming part of that journey.
Yeah.
And the journey of the athletes being a great thing that kids can latch onto. And
Yeah,
then they feel the heart of being part of that journey of you and the other great athletes.
Yeah, exactly.
And Di says the same thing about it. There's an expectation for you to take ownership of your journey and understand that the decisions you make in training or outside impact your ongoing journey, not only in athletics, but also in life as well.
Exactly, yeah. And it's definitely been great because she tells that to all the athletes, of course.
Right.
And like one choice may change what you do in training or what you do outside of training, and it changes the course of your life. And she teaches you how to make great decisions according to the future and what you want to be and what you want to do in the future for sure. And that definitely helps, obviously not in sports, but in outside of life for sure. So.
Will you miss school? I mean, I know you're very proud of school, but is there also is there a part of that thinking it's time to move to that next level now?
100%. I think I'll definitely miss going to school, seeing my friends. I probably won't miss the actual school side of it, but I definitely think I'll miss a little bit. But I definitely think it's time for me to move on for sure and move on to a different aspect of life. But I'll definitely cherish the moments I had at school for sure.
Yeah, but you're a pretty good student.
Yeah,
right? Does that mean is the university something you're...
Yeah, definitely. Most likely not next year. I'm taking gap year next year just to focus on training and just getting like my feet on the ground for sure. And after that, I definitely think of going to uni or some course.
Gap
like
years
that
are good.
for
I
sure.
take a lot of gap years.
Of course.
I mean, it's just... I'm taking one next year actually. It's
It's the best.
You know what I mean? Just for me.
Exactly.
For
exactly.
me,
And it
you
might
gotta
be a
take
year
one.
after that as well.
Just keep rolling through these
of
gap
course.
years. Well, that's exciting stuff. So, I mentioned 2025 school, 2026 completely different. So you turn 18. There's a lot of, obviously, there's the obvious things about becoming an adult, and you can now go to bars and things. Well, as an example of things. But it's a moment of change for you. Do you think it'll impact your day-to-day very much next year? Like training will kind of be the same, will it? Or?
Training will probably be the same. It wouldn't impact too much. Just especially now being outside of school, I can train a lot more efficiently and recover better and have more energy to focus on the actual training as well, aside from school and schoolwork and stuff like that. So definitely think it won't change too much, but it'll definitely help me get better at training.
Before we move on from last year, and obviously, well, what a great year it was domestically for you. You competed in your first Diamond League, and then of course Tokyo World Championships, where I've got to again congratulate you on the way you handled yourself through that entire process. Semi-finalist. I mean, I was at the stadium that night, and just to see, you've got the eventual bronze medalist and fourth place getter outside you in your semi-final. I mean, I think, did you walk away from that experience and the entire experience you had? I saw you on stage with Adidas with the world's media. Then after your competition, obviously my great friend James, your manager, had a birthday party. You were there with your friends. I mean, that whole experience for you, which for a 17-year-old is a lot to take on, but I just felt like you really found a really nice space of how you handled the whole thing. Did you feel like that was something that has helped progress you both mentally and physically?
Definitely, I definitely think the way I prepared and the way I kind of went about my World Championship campaign was amazing, and I definitely think just keeping that trajectory forward and just keeping my head on my shoulders, keeping everything simple and keep moving on like that definitely would take me far for sure.
Of course, last year, or this year as well, I should say, 2025, there was just such a number of little pivoting moments for you. The Noah Lyles training and the way he embraced you, which is not a natural thing in a competitive environment like track and field.
Yeah.
For me personally, that's been involved in the sport, going back to the Sydney Olympics, it's the one different thing, a positive thing that traditionally we haven't had in the sport is that athletes have worked in isolation a lot. So you think going back to 2000, the sprint stars like Matt Shervington and Patrick Johnson, they didn't really talk that much. They certainly, if they did get to America to train, it was a fairly limited. Kathy Freeman was very much in isolation as well. The great thing I see about you, not only with Noah Lyles, who's just been extraordinary, well, it seems like from the conversations 100%. I've had, what the impact he's had on you, but even domestically, how there's a collaboration between some of the other competitors, like guys like Lockie Kennedy, where you're not afraid of racing each other. You're not afraid of throwing some friendly shade on each other about competition. And I think that's domestically prepares you better for when you do get to the pointy end of the year in Europe and at major championships.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely having that friendly rivalry where you can go in the line and you want think about killing each other, but off the line you're friends and can joke about it and throw shade and all kinds of things. I definitely think that helps you to get onto the international season and helps you prepare more for sure, because you got that rivalry, and outside of that it's kind of just chill vibes and kick back. It definitely helps you move on to international comps for sure.
So when you look at your performances from last year, from this year, what are you specifically looking to improve in 2026?
I definitely think obviously my start, that's obviously a part where I can drop times majorly, and just honestly just staying really relaxed and just staying really, position and head screwed on properly, because the more relaxed you are, the faster you run. So I definitely think improving my start and improving on getting really relaxed around running, I'll take off.
Yeah, is that your body sort of as it evolves in the strength thing? Because I was looking at your reaction times, even on the biggest stage at World Championships, were pretty impressive.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's just a strength building thing.
100%.
And talk us through that process of on the blocks.
Yeah.
Like, are you clearing the mechanism there? Like, what are you thinking when you're on the blocks?
Honestly, in the blocks, you just gotta clear your mind pretty much, and the only thing you're really thinking about is not reacting, but just hearing the gun and just going. Because as soon as you're thinking, you're not going 100%. So you kind of just have to clear your mind and just go up the floor and see what happens.
And then once you get to the upright position,
once you get around, just hit the pedal and hope for the best.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the 200 metres, when do you feel like when everything's going well, you hit that maximum velocity where you think, there's nothing better in the world than seeing someone run that fast? What does it feel like to run that fast in those moments where you felt a bit of zen, where you think, okay, this one's coming together pretty well?
Yeah, I definitely think, running fast is amazing. Like, can't really describe it. It's like you're floating, it's lightning, it's like all kinds of things. You like your water.
Really?
But I definitely think, for me, especially in the 200, when I get like halfway through that bend, I can really feel it. I can feel it's going to be fast. And
but before you get off the bend?
Even before I get off the bend, you can kind of just feel, especially if I get a good start. If I get a good start, it's kind of over for everyone. And as soon as I get off that bend, as soon as I feel that flick, I know I've done that successfully. I know I can just take off, and my legs will keep running with me, and whatever time drops, it's probably going to be a banger. So
it's pretty great. It's one of those great, the rawness of track and field. It's just speed. It's
100%,
there's nothing else involved in it. And this is like, as kids, and for the older people like myself and JT, us old fellas, we grew up with Chariots of Fire and seeing these Englishmen rolling down. For some reason, their arms went forward back in those days, but just the head in the air. It's just the glory and romance of running and the power of the speed of it. In a lot of ways, even though that's many years ago, it's that one thing that connects the sport is just that the beauty of the speed of what you do.
Yeah, I think definitely that's what people love about sprinting and the 100, 200, and 400 meters. Like, everyone loves seeing that raw speed. Everyone likes seeing everyone get out the blocks and really hit the pedal to the metal.
Let's talk about sort of, I've got written down here, legacy, and wanted to talk about sort of at the moment, and again, it's just been so fast forward for you the last couple of years, and a reminder again that you're only just about to turn 18 years of age, but some athletes in all sports are quite happy just to compete. Not worry about externals, just get the job done on the paddock or on the track, whatever it is. Whereas some athletes want to create more of a legacy of what they want to leave on the sport and on their community as well. Where on the spectrum at the moment of that do you think you stand?
Yeah, I definitely think more on the legacy side for sure, because especially being in Australia, we have a very diverse community, and I'm just wishing kids could, start thinking about what they could do in the future, and like, you're never too small to start something big. Like me, a kid from Ipswich, like I never thought I'd be who I am today, talking to Luttsy and being one of the fastest teenagers. It's crazy. And as a kid, you never really think about those kind of things. But I definitely think, hopefully, you're leaving a legacy where kids can, and obviously older athletes as well, that they can become greater than what they ever thought. They can reach for the stars, aim for the moon, and end up, in a different galaxy for sure. I definitely think leaving that type of legacy is something I'd be proud of for sure.
And I'm 50 next year, and I've sort of been involved in one shape or form with athletics my entire life. I've never seen anything this year. The World Championships, for instance, I think we had 3 times as many media representatives at World Champs.
Indeed, yeah.
We had 2 networks, free-to-air networks, covering live with SBS and Channel 9. 9, whatever it was. And then, of course, at nationals, like, whatever free-to-air channel that we had, I think was said, whatever it was, cutting into horse racing coverage to show athletics. The absurdity of that on any other level in my lifetime is not lost on people that have been around. And obviously that's your impact. And I know that sometimes you say that and people get cranky and say, no, there's all these great athletes in athletics, which is fine, but you have undoubtedly been the one element that has drawn more eyeballs to the sport. And the great thing is, it is a great product, track and field. There are these magnificent athletes that are now well known because of the involvement that you've helped create this year. So legacy, in a lot of ways, is already, well, you've been quietly going about your business, has already started for you.
Indeed. And I definitely think it's been amazing for sure. And seeing athletics grow in the past year, so to say, it's been amazing, and definitely believe it'll go a lot further for sure.
I remember, it must have been a couple of months ago, because you had 2 sort of big events this year, your formal. Yeah, and we wanted to get you wearing a nice suit. So we did that. Nothing against the suit you wore, your formal. You look fantastic. I think we had an interesting photo exchange where I sent you a photo of me in my formal, and you laughed.
Hey, you looked all right.
You were quite kind to me. You and your training partner, Johnny K, were pretty nice to me, given that you guys looked like the coolest kids in town, and I didn't quite look that cool in mine. Back in 1993.
Of course.
But anyway, that aside, we had a moment where because you had some obviously some awards and things like that this year, so we went into a buddy of mine, Will Valor, in Bespoke Menswear in Brisbane, and we had about an hour where you were just getting fitted. So it was just you, me, and he's a former athlete, Mark, a former NBL player for the Townsville Crocodiles and things like that. And I was explaining to Mark, just giving him a very quick sort of version of what you'd recently achieved, and one of those things was, of course, breaking the Australian 200-metre record, which I was explaining to Mark had stood since 1968 Mexico City Olympics, in what became the famous human rights Black Power salute, where Peter broke the Australian record, 20.06. And got the silver medal between Tommy Smith and John Carlos in what became an iconic moment in Olympic history. And then, of course, I was telling you, you have to watch this documentary called Salute, which was Peter Norman's nephew, who put out this great documentary in 2008. And you said you'd seen it.
Watch it,
So what happened there? Because I find this a really fascinating story that most people wouldn't be aware of.
I remember in grade 9, I believe. Grade 9. In English class, we were watching documentaries and learning about different speeches and stuff like that. And one of the documentaries we watched was obviously the Salute documentary about Peter Norman. And to think about, in the moment, I was watching the documentary, and that's kind of like the goals I had, breaking his record. And to think I was so close to it, foreshadowing a year later. Pretty much a year later, exactly a year, I break his record.
So I think when you told me, you said, you didn't say it to the class.
Yeah, yeah.
You were just thinking,
Yeah.
oh, I reckon that's a record that I could, this record that
100%.
stood for 50 odd years is a record you might break in the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and that's
and then bang, a year later, Peter Norman's record, and then now 20.02.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
is your mark now.
Indeed.
Although I was there the day you ran 19.84,
Yes.
and it didn't feel real windy.
Did it?
That must have been a nice. I mean, the fact that winds aside, and I don't even, because most people outside of athletics don't really care about winds anyway, so I don't even like talking about it. But to feel that quick, which puts you in some pretty rare air there, that you can run sub 20. Yeah. You've done it with a 2.2 wind or whatever. What did that run give you? Did it feel fast? Did you feel like that took you into another league almost?
Yeah, definitely think it took me into another league for sure. And I felt flying, especially after coming off of 2 like false starts and 2 unsteady starts. You know, usually you don't really get yourself back together and run a fast time. And obviously I did that day. I was feeling really fresh, and the day was a perfect day. It didn't feel very windy. It was hot, nice and humid. The track was feeling great. I just took off, and I felt blazing. I came off the bed, turned into another gear, and I just took off. Saw the clock, 1984. So it was pretty cool. And to think I'm able to run that time, even winds aside. Yeah. You know, just running those times and knowing you can actually, your body can run it. You just got to keep doing it and keep dropping more. So
we'll circle back to Lionel Messi because, and again, so I think you're asked in an interview your favourite athlete was, and people, it's going to be a track and field athlete, whatever. But like football, was it probably your first? Like track and field sort of came after. You played football, but also were a fan of football. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I pretty much grew up in football. My brother, from what I can remember, he always plays football. He obviously track and field as well, but he wasn't as good as me. But he always did football, and I kind of just looked up to him, and I played football as well. I think I started maybe 9, 10 years old.
Right. Okay.
Went on from there. Yeah. And I always looked up to Lionel Messi. I always thought he's respectful, the way he plays the game, and just the overall nature around him was amazing.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is that what you admire about him?
100%, yeah. That's just kind of what I admire and what I achieved. I strive to be for sure. And he's in my opinion, the greatest footballer ever. And to think he's done that at, I think, age, like pretty young age, he was found out with this like growth syndrome, something like that. Yeah. And to think he went from that to being one of the greatest footballers in the world is amazing, and one of those stories I think a lot of people should look up to for sure.
Yeah, and obviously he's a brilliant athlete. In your eyes, what are the elements that you think make him a champion that you look up to?
I think his overall calmness for sure, and his just determination to win and go out there and show the world his skills, the way he can pass, just the way he plays the game. Just he loves his sport, and he loves just being able to compete, even if he's not winning, losing, even if he's injured. He loves being in that environment. He loves competing, he loves dominating, and I just love that about him, and that's something I strive to be as well.
Who wins this World Cup next year?
That's going to be hard this year.
Maybe you can get to the States or Canada and maybe catch a couple of games, like if you can line it up.
Yeah, that should be.
Actually, it's around the same time as World Juniors. Yeah, so maybe we could work that out and get you to a couple of games. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think,
it would
isn't
be.
it? Socceroos going all right. See how they go.
So see how that goes.
Another interesting one, and we'll wrap things up in a sec. But I've been wanting to ask you, and it's a question like it's a graduation question, but I think for yourself, given what's happening in your life trajectory and your career, it's a little deeper than it perhaps was for someone like me when I was 17. You know, the school book question about you know, what do you want to be remembered by? Like, you know, when you look at a kid leaving school, you get asked that question, and when you look back, you know, when you're as old as me and JT, and think, what would I, you know, at this point, what do you want to be remembered by?
I think,
and not athletics or not but in every facet.
I think just as a person who always strived to be better in whatever I did, I always tried to be better and always loved competing, whether it was in academics, in sports, or in just playing handball at lunchtime. Just loved competing and always had that smile on his face and just always was nice to talk to, just a general good bloke, as we would say. And that's kind of what I think I will be remembered as, obviously probably one of the best athletes that come out of Ipswich Grammar School, so that's also a plus as well. So.
And we mentioned the house too. I think you obviously take a fair bit of pride in the opportunities and giving back to your family. Families that's given you some great opportunities, which must be a pretty proud thing as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege being able to provide back to my family what they've given to me, and just overall, just, you know, as a kid and obviously as you get older, one of your dreams is buying your parents a house or buying your parents a car or things of that nature, and I've done one of those things for sure, and definitely proud of myself for sure, and sometimes it's a pinch yourself moment for sure, knowing that I'm literally just 17, turning 18, and I've already done these great things, and it's just an example of buying my parents a house, so it's great.
It still blows people's mind when you think of, you know, like 2032, people say, you know, oh, it's so far away, but it's like 6.5 years now, and it's still, for you, you'll be a 24-year-old young man, which is crazy. Like LA, you'll be, what, 21?
21, yeah.
That's like in 900 and something days. It's creeping right up, you know. It's pretty amazing when you think, although it's that 4-year cycle seems like it's such a distant thing. On some level, although you're obviously focusing on what's coming next.
Yeah. 100%.
An excitement around playing a part eventually in Olympics and Olympic history. It must be something that, in particular with Brisbane 2030, even for someone that lives in this city, it's a once-ever opportunity to be part of the greatest show on earth.
Exactly,
is that something that, does it motivate you thinking in the distance for that?
Definitely. It definitely motivates me, knowing that this is kind of one of the opportunity lifetime. Like, not a lot of people get to experience a home Olympics, and obviously not only is it a home Olympics, but it's also in the city I've grown up my entire life. It's literally a once in an opportunity lifetime, and to be able to know I'm in a position to be able to make that and make finals and compete for medals and gold medals and stuff like that, and just in the country I've lived in and call my home, it's amazing. And to think I'm on the trajectory to get to that level is amazing, and definitely think I take great pride in that, and that motivates me every single day to get up, get better, and try for greatness.
And you've got your core group of athletes, obviously you train with Di, but how are the other athletes around you when you're at QSAC in different areas? Do people sort of treat you normally?
I mean, overall, like, the people I deal with, they treat me like regular Gout. You know, I'm not no superstar, I'm not no fastest man in the world. Like, I'm just regular Gout, and I definitely think that helps me a lot, especially mentally. You know, you can't have to put on a face. But when I'm with my friends, training group, other athletes, it's pretty chill. So.
Happy birthday for the 29th.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes.
You'll be just local, keeping it pretty chilled.
Yeah, pretty
you
chill.
can have a nice little lunch.
Having a little lunch, maybe a dinner, and then might go go-karting, something like that.
And when's it start for you next year? When do you start competing?
Start competing probably in, I want to say February, March, around that time. I'm not sure what exactly I'll be running in, but that'll probably be the time I open up for sure.
And that GPS 400 metres, is that a one-off, or is that,
I mean, probably not a one-off, but you'll definitely see me in some fours in the future.
Do you like running fours? I mean, it's a different thing. Being a 200-metre runner and a 400-metre runner is a different thing. Are you want to put in those laps and?
I definitely don't want to put in those hours, but it's a fun little event, and obviously not.
Is it?
I mean, for the most part, it's fun. And the pain, set aside the pain, it's kind of fun, like, knowing different, like, race plans, and you kind of have to, like, set yourself up good. It's always strategic for sure, but.
There's also the 100, which is the blue bar.
That's
which, if you wanted to win one, that'd be it, sort of thing. And then the 200 sits in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. So,
well, it's a good options to have, that's all I'm saying.
100%.
So that's great.
And, I can most likely do 3 with all of them if I wanted to. But 4 right now, I think we'll keep out the picture.
And rule out 800s.
Yeah, we'll rule those out.
They are not fun. Mate, thanks so much. Congratulations again on 2025. I think everyone watching this or listening to this is right in your corner, and thanks you for the experience you're giving people, and the enjoyment and the passion that sport can bring, and also the way it can change your community. You've been a big part of that over the last 18 months or so, and we look forward to seeing you involved more in that. And we shall end with our rather awkward handshake, if you wouldn't mind, which started by me always going with a fist, and one stage you grabbed it, and it was strange.
Yes.
So we decided now we just come in with Gout Gout, thank you.
Tash, of course. Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Rock on, brother.
Gotta love that.